This is the India Today Mediaplex. You're watching the Newstrack. Good evening. I'm Gaurav Sawant. Our top focus story. Two senior Congress leaders in the eye of a storm for their rather controversial statements on Jammu and Kashmir. P. Chidambaram and Mani Aiyar.
A week after Article 370 was scrapped. It's the festival of Eid al-Adha. Amid restrictions and curbs, Kashmiris offer prayers. Curbs eased for Eid prayers, but clampdown dampens festivities. After peaceful Eid, all eyes on Independence Day.
Two senior Congress leaders, one a former Union Home Minister and a former Union Finance Minister, P. Chidambaram, in the eye of a storm after his statement on Jammu and Kashmir and Article 370. He said the BJP has done this because Kashmir is a Muslim majority state. This, of course, according to the BJP, is Pakistani agenda being furthered. But he's not the only one. You also had Mani Shankar Aiyar compare the situation in Kashmir to Palestine and issue a warning that if things were not arrested from a further decline, Kashmir would be like East Pakistan in 1971. The BJP is asking, does the Congress not want peace in Jammu and Kashmir?
Congress is scoring one self-goal after another over Kashmir. First, it was Rahul Gandhi's Kashmir bloodshed and death in the valley claim.
There are reports of violence. There are reports of people dying in Jammu and Kashmir.
Now, former Home Minister P. Chidambaram has given a communal twist to Article 370 being nixed.
மதவாதம் தான். அந்த உண்மையிலிருந்து மறந்து விடக்கூடாது. நம்ம அந்த உண்மையை மறந்து விடக்கூடாது. இதுவே காஷ்மீர் ஹிந்து பெரும்பான்மை மாநிலமாக இருந்திருந்தால் பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சி இதை செய்யாது.
Chidambaram's comment was soon seized upon by Pakistan to attack India.
हिंदुस्तान का शशि तरूर कह रहा है कि तारीख साबित करेगी। चिदंबरम जो साबित वजीर दाखिला है, होम मिनिस्टर है भारत का, वो कह रहा है ये तारीखी हमाकत की है.
The BJP accused the Congress heavyweight of towing the Pakistan line.
चिदंबरम साहब का बयान बहुत ही गैर जिम्मेदार ना है और मैं पूछूंगा कि क्या कांग्रेस पार्टी का ये बयान है? कांग्रेस पार्टी बताए।
कुछ दिनों पहले इन्हीं में से कुछ लोग जो है पाकिस्तान पहुंच गए थे कि हमारी तो औकात नहीं है कि मोदी जी को हटा सके क्योंकि जनता का उनके प्रति बहुत प्यार है, तो भैया पाकिस्तान हमारी मदद करे। ये वही लोग हैं, ये वही विलाप मंडली है।
Chidambaram's shocker was not the only jarring note from Congress. Party motor mouth Mani Shankar Aiyar drew a Palestine parallel, claiming that integration was forced upon Kashmiris at gunpoint by Modi and Shah. Congress leader in Lok Sabha Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary had raised eyebrows by questioning if Kashmir was indeed India's internal matter, and then calling it a Nazi concentration camp.
1948 में जहां यूनाइटेड नेशंस की मॉनिटरिंग हो रहे हैं वो क्या इंटरनल मामला है?
लेकिन आज कश्मीर की हालत एक कॉन्सेंट्रेशन कैंप जैसे हो गए। ना कोई मोबाइल कनेक्शन, ना कोई इंटरनेट, ना कोई लैंडफोन, ना कोई शिक्षण शिविर खुले हुए।
Congress has been split down the middle over scrapping of J&K special status, with several senior leaders defying the party line and siding with the government.
From fear-mongering to adding a communal twist to the Article 370 debate, the statements by the senior leaders have brought down severe criticism on the Congress party. With the situation in Jammu Kashmir not yet completely stable, is the Congress playing the responsible opposition, or is this a bid only to gain political brownie points? That's the big question. This is Anisha Mathur in New Delhi for India Today.
And earlier in the day, I spoke to senior Congress leader Mani Shankar Aiyar, and I began by asking him, why was he comparing Kashmir to Palestine and saying things that the BJP claims would be music to Pakistan's ears. Senior Congress leader Mani Aiyar in the eye of a storm after comparing the situation in Kashmir to Palestine, also saying the situation is like it was in East Pakistan in 1971. And if I could quote, are we bringing a similar disaster on our heads? Be warned. Mani Aiyar joins me on the broadcast. Mr. Aiyar, welcome on India Today. Want to understand from you, sir, in your appreciation, is the situation in Jammu and Kashmir today as it was in East Pakistan in 1971? If so, why?
As you have just read out, it was not an assertion, it was a question. And if we treat a part of the country, our country, an integral part of our country, in this manner, then I said there is a danger that we would find ourselves in a similar position to that of West Pakistan in East Pakistan. So it depends on us. If we are going to continue to just brush aside the desires of 7 million to 8 million Kashmiris and force down their throats the kind of steps that we are intending to take, then clearly we are taking steps that are similar to those that have been undertaken in Palestine by the Israelis.
Are you fear-mongering, sir?
No.
Because Eid passed off peacefully so far. 30,000 plus prayed. That is what Ministry of Home Affairs says. Yes, there are restrictions in place. But look at what Rahul Gandhi said. He said people are dying. Where is the evidence that people are dying? Government of India says not a single bullet has been fired.
You are welcome to believe whatever the government of India says. As far as I know, the job of the media is to be skeptical about official propaganda.
You know, a lot of Congress leaders are being quoted very extensively in Pakistani media. You said Narendra Modi and Amit Shah have just created a Palestine on our northern borders. How? How have they created a Palestine on our northern borders, sir?
Precisely because the people of Kashmir desired to retain Article 370 and Article 335A, that we sent in approximately 35,000 additional troops to the lakhs that are already there in the valley. The whole place has been closed down for the better part of a week.
You've also said they floated a deceitful rumor of an imminent massive Pakistan terror attack to induct 35,000 additional personnel. How do you know, sir, that it was a deceitful rumor?
Because nothing has happened in the last week or more to establish that there was any such attack coming. Therefore, I have called it a deceitful rumor, because it was
could well be
obviously
that the
a ruse
security forces were
to shut
successful
the
in
valley
foiling an
down
attempt.
while they pushed. Yeah, it may be, but they could have shown that. They could have given us some evidence of that. I am not a slave of this government.
You've also written that Modi Shah have learned their lessons well from their mentor Benjamin Netanyahu. Sir, this is something that the Pakistani leadership is saying, that it's India, Zionist conspiracy. You agree that this is something that India and Israel, that Modi and Shah are working on lines of what Israel does?
They have learnt their lessons well from what the Zionists have been doing to the Palestinians ever since Al-Nakba on the 14th of May.
That would mean you do not think that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of our country?
Followed by, not at all. It is precisely because it is an integral part of India, as I have said in my article. It is an integral part of India, and there has never before been so many troops sent into an integral part of India that, according to one estimate I've received from Kashmir, there is one Jawan to every 8 Kashmiri Muslims.
In your appreciation, this was wrong. 370 being defanged was wrong.
Certainly, because the the proviso in Article 373 or C, whatever it is, was not followed, and B, this judgment of the Supreme Court that once the Constituent Assembly was dissolved in J&K without making a recommendation to remove Article 370, the nature of that article has changed from temporary to permanent. And then this
Ram
farce
Manohar Lohia,
that is being played out of claiming that what Satpal Malik has to say is the voice of the Kashmiri people is completely wrong. It's
if I may, on the 12th of
conspiracy.
September 1964, Ram Manohar Lohia also wanted Article 370 to go. Sarojini Mahishi of the Congress wanted it to go. As far as Kashmiri leaders are going, Abdul Ghani Goni wanted it to go. N.H. Samnani wanted Article 370 to go. Many Congress leaders in the past wanted it to go. So is the Congress, even today, speaking in multiple voices? Are you running with the hare and hunting with hounds? Many young Congress leaders wanted 370 to go. They've sided with the government view on this, sir.
In any democratic party, there will be several views. There is a majority view, a prevailing view, an official view. And there are dissenting views. I have myself been responsible on more than one occasion in the past of holding a dissenting view. Now, you can pick on people inside Parliament who wanted it to go. I think even today there are congressmen who have expressed themselves in favor of the move that has taken place. But I am expressing my independent view, and it seems that it is in accord with the official view of the Congress.
So this is not the view of the Congress party. You know, you have Jyotiraditya Scindia who supported the move. You have Milind Deora who says this is the best thing that could have happened for India. Dipinder Hooda, Jitin Prasada, RPN Singh, Janardhan Dwivedi saying a historical wrong has been righted. So is the Congress speaking in two different, are you running with the hare and hunting with hounds, sir?
I will neither running with the hare nor hunting with the hounds, nor is this a fox hunt. There are people who have different views, but the official view of the Congress has been expressed in Parliament by a number of others. Manish Tiwari, Shashi Tharoor, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, outside of Parliament by Rahul Gandhi. I do not believe that because we allow a certain amount of dissidence, as happens in the Democratic Party, as happens in the Labour Party in England, as is happening with the Tories in England, it is part and parcel of the democratic process to allow different voices to speak.
So former Union Home Minister and Finance Minister P. Chidambaram in the eye of a storm for saying Article 370 was abrogated because that's a Muslim-dominated area. He's not the only one. There are other Congress leaders. Mani Shankar Aiyar has compared it to Palestine. So is this a part of a pattern? Is there a wider game plan? And are we then making statements that will benefit the Pakistani narrative on Jammu and Kashmir? Joining me now on the broadcast, three of the finest voices on the subject. I have Ambassador G. Parthasarathi, India's former High Commissioner to Pakistan. I also have with me Nishant Verma. Nishant Verma is an independent analyst. Nishant Verma leans on the side of the Congress since Congress still refuses to send a spokesperson for a debate. And also with me on the broadcast is Sambit Patra, BJP spokesperson. But Nishant Verma, I want to understand from you first. P. Chidambaram says in Jammu and Kashmir, Article 370 was abrogated because it's a Muslim-dominated area. So this has now become a Hindu-Muslim debate. Is that what the Congress wants?
Has Kashmir become a Hindu-Muslim debate today?
Oh, so you're saying it always was a Hindu? It was a Hindu-Muslim debate.
1947, if we recollect 1947, what was the divide from their side, the Pakistani side, Hindu-Muslim? Why was Kashmir stuck? Hindu-Muslim, Hindu Raja, Muslim Praja. It was always a Hindu-Muslim divide.
That is the Pakistani narrative, and Ambassador G. Parthasarathi, that is the Pakistani narrative. Pakistani narrative is two-nation theory. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ambassador G. Parthasarathy. Pakistan said so in 1947. Pakistan is saying so in 2019 on the 14th. On the 14th.
1947, the partition from their side was on religious lines.
And
Kashmir
that is the line that Chidambaram is peddling today. Is he not, sir, Ambassador Parthasarathy?
I don't quite agree with that.
Why don't you? Sir, please.
For the simple reason that we had other states. You had Hyderabad, you had Junagadh, where you had the same issues, but it was treated by us purely in terms of the Independence of India Act and also in terms of geographical contiguity. Kashmir was geographically contiguous to both, and in terms of the Independence of India Act, the Maharaja acceded to India. So there Nawab was ousted by his own people and they came to
No,
India.
but is P. Chidambaram propagating the Pakistani narrative when he says...
I would say certainly what Mr. Chidambaram has said adds to Pakistan's comfort at a time when Pakistan is finding itself totally isolated in the world.
Pakistan is totally isolated. I'll come to that point of Pakistan being isolated in just a moment. But Sambit Patra, did Narendra Modi government talk about defanging Article 370 because it's a Hindu-Muslim issue, because this is a Hindu majority government and Kashmir is a Muslim majority state, sir?
See, Gaurav, as far as Narendra Modi government is concerned, Narendra Modi ji himself, while addressing the nation a few days back, articulated the reason as to why Article 370 was abrogated or defanged, as you call it. Because of 4 reasons. He said that separatism had to be finished. He said that it was dynastic politics which had to be called out. He said that Atankwad, that is terrorism, had to be uprooted. And lastly, corruption, which has become something quite often and quite rampant in Jammu Kashmir, had to be taken away from. So these are the 4 reasons as to why Article 370 was abrogated. But look at the congressmen. The congressmen leave no reason as to why. They leave no incidents when they can supply oxygen to Pakistan. And I would call the Congress top leaders, in fact, conflict entrepreneurs. It's not just Mr. Digvijay Singh or Mani Shankar Aiyar or P. Chidambaram or Mr. Adhiranjan Chaudhary. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he came out of the CWC meeting while they were discussing about who should be the president of the Congress party and chose to speak about Jammu and Kashmir when the world, in fact, was agreeing to what India was saying. And
Mr. Verma, please respond.
There. I should congratulate everyone that today is a peaceful
day. The
BJP
BJP accuses the Congress of being conflict entrepreneurs.
To instigate violence.
The BJP is saying even Rahul Gandhi, when CWC was going on, he came out and spoke of Jammu and Kashmir and saying people are dying. On what basis is he saying people are dying when the government has come on record to say not a single bullet has been fired?
No, I know BJP has this habit of twisting things. They did not hear what Rahul Gandhi had to say. Rahul Gandhi said we were supposed to talk about the president, next president. But the inputs came about Kashmir. The inputs came about deaths in Kashmir. So if they change their itinerary and they talk about something else, I don't think so BJP should be perturbed about it. Number 2, let's not talk, Mr. Sambit Patra, about anything, but tell us today is Eid. Did you celebrate? How do you celebrate Eid? How do you celebrate Eid?
Okay,
by calling your relatives, by exchanging messages.
I'll come to that point in a moment, but that is not the point that either P. Chidambaram
said word by word everything correct.
Oh, you are saying so this is a Hindu-Muslim issue for you.
This is for even BJP. Remember, when
that is the Pakistani narrative.
When forget the Pakistani.
No, because Pakistani narrative on the 14th of August, you will see this.
The news you broke has been abrogated. Who were the first people to enjoy? BJP, RSS, VHP, Bajrang Dal.
Oh, so you think rest of the country did not enjoy? Ladakh did not enjoy? Jammu did not enjoy?
The fact is, Jammu is not enjoying, by the way.
Okay, that may be your perception. But the point Ranbir Singh Pura.
BJP
okay, I want to bring in on Mani Shankar Aiyar. Mani Shankar Aiyar says Kashmir has been made into a Palestine by Amit Shah and Narendra Modi. Ambassador, while the political tutu meme is a separate story, since you understand foreign policy and since you actually succeeded Mani Shankar Aiyar in Pakistan, I want to understand from you. Has Kashmir become Palestine as your predecessor in Foreign Office said?
I look at it purely in foreign policy terms.
Yes.
Palestine, there is a roadmap for peace worked out by the international community. And right now there are differences between Palestine and the Israelis on the implementation of that. Many support the Israelis, many support the Pakistanis, the Palestinians. We stay out of it. Now you can't equate that with this, because this, in terms of the Simla agreement signed by Mrs. Indira Gandhi, is a bilateral
No, but
matter.
is this malicious? Is this malicious in your appreciation?
I would say it runs contrary to completely everything that the Congress said when it was in office and what the BJP is saying now. But as a national position, before Parliament,
yes,
there is a unanimous Parliament resolution which says the whole of Kashmir is an integral part of India.
Absolutely. So Congress in power.
It's a unanimous Parliament resolution.
Mr. Verma, Congress in power becomes Deshbhakt. Congress out of power suddenly compares Kashmir to Palestine.
It is not comparing Kashmir to Palestine. It is the BJP which is causing such a rift in the valley that it may. Can you deny that, Mr. Patra? Can you deny that? You are the perpetrators.
Patra wants to come in. Sambit Patra, respond. Go ahead, Mr. Verma, go ahead.
You are the perpetrators of indecency as well as civilization. Ki to baat hi chhodiye. That in this country you have caused so much that today people of this country are saying you will convert Kashmir into Palestine.
People are not saying. Please specify. Mani Shankar Aiyar is saying. Mani Shankar Aiyar. Mani Shankar Aiyar. Sambit Patra, please respond.
He and many others. And what will Sambit Patra reply?
Yes.
Who goes to Jinnah's Mazar and Matha takes? Arey kya baat karte ho?
Can I please come, Gaurav?
Yes, please.
Jhoot bolo. Chalo.
Gaurav, this is a very serious. Gaurav, this is a very serious issue. The whole world is watching India. While peace prevails today in Jammu and Kashmir, there is a section in India.
We are watching India.
Sir, please do not heckle. Let him complete.
So, Gaurav, can I please speak in peace? Thank you. This is a very serious issue, Gaurav. The world is watching India, and thankfully today peace prevails, in fact, over the Indian subcontinent, in India in particular, in Jammu and Kashmir. The irony is that there are some certain people with vested interest. Pakistan, of course, has its vested interest and agenda, and there's some people within this country who want to convert it into a conflict, manufacture a conflict while none exists. Look,
people
Mr. Mani Shankar Aiyar speaks about Palestine.
Like BJP, you do not want the Kashmir issue to be resolved. You do not want it resolved. This is your...
Mr. Gaurav, why do you call this illiterate man to your debate?
Okay, no heckling, no heckling, no, please, no heckling,
this is not the way to debate.
Political bravado.
This is no way of debating, Mr. Gaurav.
Mr. Verma, when you were speaking, he did not interrupt. When you were speaking, he did not interrupt, and when he's speaking, kindly do not interrupt. This is not a channel where people interrupt each other. Please make sense. Please make sense and not noise, because I still do not understand, and that is what I want, Mr. Verma, you to explain to us. Is this a pattern? Does the Congress or these Congress leaders...
First and foremost, let me complete, Mr. Gaurav. There is no point to be in a debate where I'm not allowed to speak.
Okay, fair enough.
So please, Mr. Gaurav, either you allow me to,
go ahead, Mr.
speak
Patra.
my heart out. Yes. Mr. Gaurav, what I was... Gaurav, what I was trying to submit is, why is the congressman not satisfied? Why are the congressmen not satisfied when peace prevails in Jammu and Kashmir? Astonishingly, the Congress party is trying to manufacture a conflict while none exists. Remember, it's not just Mr. P. Chidambaram who calls this a Hindu-Muslim issue. We have Mr. Digvijay Singh who says that if this be the case, then Kashmir will not remain with India for a long time. Then we had Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary getting on the floor of the parliament and commenting that since this is a bilateral issue, we should have really sought a permission from Pakistan, and since this whole issue is pending with United
on the
Nations,
contrary, he said you have bilateral issue. On the contrary,
they did not have a right to impact
on the contrary, gentlemen. On the contrary, if I can correct you, no sir, please do not
scream. Why do you call this Pakistani Nishant Verma?
Do not shout. Why are you shouting? No. My only humble submission is whoever does not have a strong argument raises his voice. If you have a strong argument, you will not raise your voice. That's my only submission. That is my only submission. But on the issue what Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary said, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary talked about UN being in Kashmir, and that was a disaster. And if I may,
you may be a Pakistani. Before you call me a Pakistani,
I am sorry.
You may be an Imran Khan agent.
I am sorry, gentlemen, time out. Gentlemen, time out.
You remember?
No. Absolute time out. Absolute time out. Nope. Audio faders down. Please do not abuse each other. Please do not abuse each other by calling each other Pakistani. Do not abuse each other. Do not abuse each other. Okay, okay. You know, we are not in kindergarten, gentlemen. We are not in kindergarten. Let's have a mature debate. But, Ambassador, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary spoke about United Nations, and that too on the floor of the House. Isn't that against the very grain of what India says, that UN has absolutely no role in Jammu and Kashmir?
He spoke against the provisions of a unanimous parliamentary resolution moved by no less than Prime Minister Narasimha Rao.
Imagine,
so
imagine.
I think whoever said that should study his own party's history. Now, coming to the situation as it exists now, as far as I am concerned, we have mobilized world support as we have had in the past, and I am not worried because Pakistan is quite isolated. The Americans have backed off from them. Arab countries are supporting us. This is the first time in history that on Kashmir we have such support on Bahrain, on UAE, on Saudi Arabia. Interestingly, I was speaking to the Iranians. All they said is, why don't you guys settle it bilaterally?
Yes.
So,
तो क्या इसकी वजह से दर्द हो रहा है? क्या इसकी वजह से
immaterial who rules India? This is a national issue.
Yes.
It should not become the victim to politics or domestic politics.
Explain, Mr. Verma, then what is the Congress party doing? The world is supporting India, but the Congress party is questioning on these issues. कि हिंदू मुसलमान का इशू है जम्मू कश्मीर, कि यूएन का रोल है जम्मू कश्मीर में, ये तो इंडिया की लाइन है ही नहीं.
3 quick points. UN has no role. I concede to that.
And leader of the Congress does not know that in Lok Sabha.
So there is where he is wrong on that part only.
No, not on that part only. No, sir. There's another point. Sir, my humble submission. He also said Kashmir is a concentration camp. He said Kashmir is a concentration camp.
If this is the manner that it is continuing, it may become. But when it comes to bilateral,
Sambit Patra, is Kashmir a concentration camp under your government?
Is, Gaurav, when BJP starts saying that it is not a bilateral issue, there is where all the discussion starts.
It doesn't end. Bilateral only Pakistan occupied Kashmir. That is India's stated position.
Where is it stated? Show the document.
Okay.
No, show the document.
I will let Ambassador Parthasarathi, was India's High Commissioner to Pakistan.
Lahore Declaration. It says
Jammu Kashmir is bilateral.
It does not specify.
Every government has said jo baat hogi Patra wants to respond.
Sambit Patra this bunkam anymore.
Okay, Sambit Patra is responding to you. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, Gaurav, first and foremost, one should go to the Constitution of India, which unequivocally declares Jammu Kashmir to be an integral part of India, in fact the 15th state of India. One should go through the Article 2 of the Constitution of Jammu and Kashmir, which does not exist anymore, which said that Jammu and Kashmir was an integral part of India. Then we had a resolution, rightly pointed out by the ambassador over here, passed in the very same Parliament of India where Mr. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary was speaking, that Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India. If despite that we have people feeling that this is not an issue that India should address, this is a bilateral issue, then God forbid their wisdom.
Why did you mention
as far as bilateral issue is concerned, there is only one pending bilateral issue with Pakistan, and that is POK. That is POK.
Is this a cause? No. I want to understand.
What did you negotiate?
No, Mr. Verma, I want to understand. Okay, he was present in Lahore. He was present. You were our High Commissioner.
Yes.
He was our High Commissioner in Lahore.
He does not allow anyone to speak.
It was not discussed in detail, but Mr. Vajpayee did refer to recent terrorist incidents, including in Himachal Pradesh, which just preceded the summit. And the second point we said was that yes, the dialogue will continue in terms of the provisions of the Simla Agreement.
But I want to raise it to what Congress leaders are doing today. No, I am not going into history. I am not going into history. I want to understand. I want to understand why are Congress leaders making these statements? Are you uncomfortable that there is peace in Jammu and Kashmir at least now? Even 1 hour back, you had top police officers were saying the situation today, there was no violence, no firing, Eid passed off peacefully. इससे क्या डर लग रहा है कि कश्मीर में शांति है?
Okay.
क्या डर लग रहा है कि कश्मीर में तनाव नहीं हुआ, हिंसा नहीं हुई?
I'll just give in 2 points. One, any political bravado done by Mr. Modi and the government needs to be mirrored with the facts, and that is what is happening. Maybe partially incorrect at times is a different matter. But more or less it is correct. Number 2, yes, that is the reason it has been made a union territory. so
Sambit Patra, please respond.
that you only showcase what you need to. Why don't you open the mobile phone lines? Why don't you open the internet? Why? ये डर है, डर की बात करी, ये डर है कि वहां पे दोबारा आतंकवाद हो जाएगा, तो फिर ऐसे कदम उठाने से पहले उस चीज को न्यूट्रलाइज करना चाहिए.
Sambit Patra
You
wants to
step into
respond.
something, you step into a wet space, and then you want us to be careful
Sambit Patra,
about it.
respond.
Can I please
Yes.
speak, Mr. Gaurav? This is not the way.
Okay, and Mr. Verma, no interruption. He did not interrupt you. You do not interrupt
This
him.
is astonishing a fact.
They have interrupted the country.
Mr. Gaurav, it's an astonishing fact. The ambassador and you, in fact, were right in pointing out that today, but ironically, the whole world is standing with us. Even Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's astonishing that Saudi Arabia, the way Saudi Arabia is supporting India, and I gather some of the protesters in Bahrain who are protesting against this whole thing were arrested. If I do not know, I'm right or wrong.
You're
but I
absolutely
just saw
right.
something
Canada,
in media right
Mr.
now.
Modi.
In Bahrain, the protesters were arrested.
In
yeah,
Canada,
I'm right.
you
I
have
mean, in Bahrain, look at
You don't
look
have
at
the
it.
video, then send it to
Protesters
us.
against India, protesters in favor of separatism. I mean, Mr. Gaurav, I don't want to debate with a man who's so uncouth, who keeps on shouting in the middle of everyone. This is
Okay.
not the
We have
way,
seen you
Mr.
for 5
Gaurav.
years.
We are discussing
We
a
have seen
serious
you for
issue.
5
Okay,
years.
gentlemen,
Should be allowed
I don't
to
want
at
to
least
say the
Gentlemen,
same
one
thing.
by one. One by one.
Mr. Gaurav, I quit the debate. Mr. Gaurav,
No, no, no,
Mr.
no,
Gaurav,
no.
I firmly believe that I cannot debate.
One by one.
Please
Quit the
don't mind my
government.
harsh
We'll
words.
manage.
One by
Really,
one.
I cannot debate with him. I mean, this is not the way.
Okay.
This is not the way.
I am
cannot
sorry,
debate with
Mr. Verma, you
Pakistanis
will have
in
to
India.
keep
Please,
quiet. You
try to
will have to
understand.
keep quiet when Sambit Patra is speaking. This is not a channel where we encourage heckling. You make your point, there will be a response. You respond to that point that's being made. No heckling. We are not in kindergarten. But let me come back. Sambit Patra, the point that's being made is, if the situation is normal, as Mr. Verma says, why do you not remove the curbs on internet? Why not let people come out? Why are there restrictions still in place?
Of course it would be done. I mean, look, only a couple of days ago, the question was, will Eid be celebrated in the Valley? And today we see that there's a peaceful Eid going on in Valley. People, for the first time I'm seeing, are in fact hugging the police officers, the military officers. There is total peace all over Jammu and Kashmir. Well, as far as curfew, etc. is concerned, Mr. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, categorically stated on the floor of the House that these are precautionary measures to see to it that those who, I mean, in fact propagate unlawful activities, these people are kept at a bay. And you would agree to me, Mr. Gaurav Sawant, that this is the way a country should function, to see to it that no kind of separatist movement, no kind of protests which unnecessarily escalates a tense situation in Jammu Kashmir takes place. It's only a matter of time before we take out curfew.
That's fair enough. This is not the first time. Fair enough. Ambassador Parthasarathy.
This is not for the first time that curfew has been imposed. We had seen curfews for years altogether.
Okay, Ambassador Parthasarathy, you agree with that?
Look,
curfew has been imposed before. Internet has been cut before.
Yes, definitely on a number of occasions. We have done it. Even when I was in Pakistan, I've seen it done on this side. And they do it on their side. So it's par for the course, cutting off internet connections when we believe that they could be misused for inciting violence. It is done. It is done.
You know, my humble question is, and my question is, Ambassador Parthasarathy, you are in the best position to respond to that. Congress leaders, whether it is P. Chidambaram or others, they are being quoted extensively in Pakistani media. Pakistan's foreign minister, Shah Mahmood Qureshi, is quoting these leaders saying what India has done is wrong. So are we playing into the hands of our adversary, if not enemy, just to score political points back home? Is that what the Congress is ending up doing?
In my life, in my career, I have lived through civilized debate between the leading opposition and the ruling party, and that on issues of national interest, the ruling where security of the country is involved, generally the opposition abides by that understanding, which is there in every mature democracy.
India first. That should be the thinking.
I'm just saying that this is the consensus. That is how we behave. During, for example, during conflict situations, nobody, I mean,
no, but what do you make of Chidambaram's statement, or Mani Shankar Aiyar's statement, or Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary's statement?
He is a friend. I know Chidambaram well over the years. But I would think it is unfortunate that at a time when the country is going through a crisis where we are getting international support overwhelmingly, statements like that give only encouragement to our adversary. I think that that is very unwise.
Okay.
And not in keeping with the parliamentary traditions we've always had of not doing something which gives comfort.
Is
to
this
an
then
adversary.
desperation कि peace ना हो जाए क्योंकि बीजेपी की सत्ता है वहां पर? Mr. Verma, is that the tension that if peace prevails and if this is successful, there will be trouble? Is the Congress then cutting its nose to spite its face?
I think you are very right when you say that we are not in kindergarten, and we must understand that while Mr. Sambit Patra of BJP says that it is normal and Eid is being celebrated, I must add, at a gunpoint. At a gunpoint, you remove Section 144, go for namaz, come back, Section 144. If that is normalcy, beautiful, Mr. Sambit Patra, then whatever even Mr. Mani Aiyar has said should be considered even if it is untrue or not going to be true. So you have to be a little more careful. You have to be a little more careful while putting a finger on Congress. 3 are towards yourself. And you are not watching these 3 fingers.
Okay, Sambit Patra wants to quickly respond. Sambit Patra, that's all. I have last 30 seconds on the broadcast. Go on, sir.
See, leave aside what we say for the Congress party. Ironically, for the first time, the Congress party is equatorially divided on the issue of abrogation of Article 370. Most of the young leaders, many of them are very senior, including Janardhan Dwivedi, in fact, has gone ahead to welcome this step by the Modi government.
Yes.
And secondly, and most importantly, the Congress does not appear to learn its lesson. Congress had burnt its finger. Rather, the whole Congress was burnt because of the surgical strikes criticism, the air strikes criticism.
Yes.
Yet, in fact, the Congress party finds itself in a dock once again. God save the Congress, as said by Mr. Kalita, that if Congress wants to commit suicide, no one can prevent Congress from doing so.
Okay, but Indian national interest should not be hurt, and that is my primary concern.
Just one thing I want to say. I think this sort of criticism is disgraceful. I can understand criticism of a government during a crisis like this. That is normal. But on an issue involving national security, with the rest of the world on our side,
yes,
and the adversary drawing satisfaction by such, I would say, intemperate criticism, is not doing the country or its national interests any good.
I will let that be the last word on the broadcast. Mr. Verma, Ambassador Parthasarathy and Sambit Patra, many thanks for joining me. One thing needs to be kept in mind, and that's extremely, extremely essential at this point of time to know. Why are there internet curbs in the valley at this point of time? Remember, Pakistan is waging a hybrid war against India, and that hybrid war is very dangerous. Pakistani Twitter handles run by Pakistan's ISI are spreading a lot of fake news and false stories about what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir, and that is why, so that the challenging situation doesn't go out of hand, internet curbs are in place. A quick break. There's lots more coming up. Keep watching India Today.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.